spent my whole life searching for a shelter for my soul, an understanding of the greater plan. In these walls I've seen the light of love pure and divine, helps me remember who I really am. In every face it's clear, we're all God's children here, and it feels like home, it feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home, it feels like home, a family that I can call my own. It feels like home. It's a place to share your burden. It's safe to shed a tear, say a prayer and raise your voice in song, where every heart is honored and every path is too. No one's here to judge you right or wrong. And there's no shame, no sin, in this place where love begins. And it feels like home, it feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home, it feels like home, a family that I can call my own. It feels like home.
Good morning. Welcome home. Let's take a moment just to be, whatever that means to you. I invite you, if you're comfortable, to close your eyes gently and check in with yourself. Perhaps set an intention for the next hour. It might be just to feel the joy of the experience of being at Unity in Lynnwood. Maybe it's to learn something new, or maybe to offer a kind word to someone after service. Set that intention in your mind, and then just let it go. Now, pick an object of focus. Perhaps it's your breath, maybe your heartbeat, or even just your hands in your lap. And just notice those sensations. So often when we sit, we use words to access that sacred space. Today, I encourage you to experience without words. If you can, let the words go and focus just on sensing, on knowing, on feeling that connection to the one, to the source. Notice how accessing that oneness shows up for you. Perhaps it's an opening, a warmth, a tingling, or simply a relaxed feeling of letting go. Whatever it is for you, honor it, love it, and know that it is the divine within connecting to all that is. And so it is.
It feels like home. It feels like home. I finally found a place place where I belong. It feels like home. It feels like home. A family that I can call my own. It feels like home. It feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home. It feels like home. A family that I can call my own. It feels like home.
Around and around we go, singing our song, sweet and low. Our song of love and our song of life. You choose what you want to hear. Spring's eternal life or death's eternal damnation. Love's summer song or winter's heartache pose. This life is yours. Sing what you may. Come sun and sprinkling shower, you can give a tune to everything, no matter what the hour. Sing your song to your heart's content, of love's ballads or death's lament. Sing your song to be heard, from highest hill to evening flower. Sing it high and sing it low, but sing it anyway. For life is for singing the praises of being here.
I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender. I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender.
Good morning, everybody. Wow, it's a very exciting morning. We are going to share our new song with you in just a minute. A couple of quick announcements. Couple of really quick announcements. Today is also our Youth and Family Ministry Hospitality Day. The kids, in addition to preparing for this, have been working really hard preparing food for you. And just a reminder that all donations that we receive on Youth and Family Ministry Day, all of that money goes directly to supporting the kids going to regional camps and events. And speaking of regional camps and events, John and myself and 6 of our middle schoolers next weekend will be at Cispus Learning Center near Mount Rainier for 5 days. We'll have almost 30 middle schoolers there and a whole bunch of grown-ups. So we won't be here, but you'll hear back about it. And last but not least, huge thank you to Steve Mason. This has been a huge undertaking. So Steve has come downstairs on 5 different Sundays to work with the kids, and so the kids have been working super hard on this. He really incorporated their ideas. He had them do free writing exercises at the beginning and go through and circle words and phrases they liked, and then we shared them all, and he wove it all together incredibly. So do you want to say anything else about the song?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, So we went through what is involved in writing a song, and because we have resident poets and other musicians here, many of you know these kinds of things. Hi, Ed, I see you. So we all know some of these things, but it was really cool because these guys all did speed writing and just top of consciousness stuff. And the fun thing was many of the things that they wrote down, well, first they came up with love and harmony was what they wanted to write about for their group song, which is amazing out of, I think, what we have, 57 ideas or something. And then the next thing they did was they came up with all these ideas around love and harmony. And many of them, Alana, you can tell me, how many H's were in the word ah that somebody wrote down?
1.
1? No, 10 H's, I think. Was it 10?
It was 10 A's and an H.
So she was right. There was 1 H. So
Good job, Alana.
we know who's learning here. So there were many things. Who wrote that down, the ah thing? Stephen. Yeah, and he's like, all I could think of to write on this subject was ah. And he says, you'll never use that. And we're like, yeah, right? It's the first word of the song. So, and literally, people wrote things like, life can be confusing, love can sometimes need to be repaired, we're here every Sunday, sweet peace, all these things. And they just, as we worked on them, they really weaved together well. Yeah, whatever the word is, they went together well. So here's the song. It's called Harmony and Love. And I like keeping it easy. So on the choruses, which are we've got harmony and love, if you want to sing love as many times as you can with us, that's what we're going to do. So feel free. So it starts like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it again. Let's go. If Harmony had a last name, of course you'd know her first. We won't leave you hanging. It's here in the very first verse.
Her last name would be Love. Now there are 2 words so true. It's the root of our community, grounding me and you with harmony
and love. Love. We've got harmony and love. Love. Very nice. Life can be confusing, so scattered everywhere. And love can feel broken, seem beyond repair.
There's no ever-ending hope, like a puppy waiting at home.
Yeah. It's here on every Sunday, and it's everywhere we roam. We've got harmony and love. Love. We've got harmony and love. Love to the G. Harmony and love. Oh, love and harmony. Where 2 or more gather, feel that blessed energy. Love and harmony. Harmony and love. Oh, sweet peace from so deep and oh so high up. We've got harmony and love. Love. We've got harmony and love. Love.
Yes, harmony has a last name.
and now you know her first.
Yeah. We told you all about it. Now here's the very last verse. Open hearts and joyful tears, friendships oh so fierce.
Love is family, love is friends. Love is love and it never ends.
Love, we've got harmony and love. Love, we've got harmony and love. We got harmony and love. Love, sing it louder, sing it louder. Love, loud love, love, loud love, harmony and love. Love, we've got harmony and love.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, youth. I think we'll see that climbing to the top of the charts in the next couple weeks. Woo! Wow. I'm never ceases to amaze me all the talent we have here. Thank you. Good morning and welcome to Sunday in June in the Pacific Northwest, where the weather changes probably as frequently as my teenager's mood. I plan my talks for bad weather because that's what they were saying. So bear with me if the sun comes out while I'm talking. It's just an omen. I was driving one of my daughters to something the other day, and it was raining, and she looked at me and she said, "I love this weather." And I said, "Good, honey, because you live here." So that's an attitude for you, right? I'm often reminded on a dreary day that our attitude really does affect all. We can complain and rail against the gloom and the wet, or we can choose to see the beauty that surrounds us, whether it's the brilliance of a water droplet on a leaf, or simply the patterns of the clouds in the sky. As Charles Fillmore said, we must carefully choose what thoughts we are going to loose in the mind and what thoughts are going to bind, for they will come into manifestation of our affairs. In other words, if I tell myself that something stinks, certainly it will. But if I can open up to the possibility of choice, my options are infinite. At Unity in Lynnwood, we welcome you with open arms, literally and metaphorically. We welcome you, regardless of your background, your beliefs, your orientation, or your favorite breed of dog. We accept and appreciate all traditions, all beliefs, and no beliefs at all. We love deep thinking and loving conversation. As Michelle said before, today is Youth and Ministry Sunday, and what an awesome experience of that was. And just know that any of your offerings in the hospitality hall after service will go to the Youth and Family Ministry events and programs, especially the camps this summer. So thank you all. Affirmative prayer is something we practice at Unity in Lynnwood and is part of the Unity tradition. And our approach to prayer sets the stage for its effect. According to Myrtle Fillmore, you can make yourself a new creature. You can build the world about you to your highest ideals. Do not fear, but speak to the law supreme, the desires of your heart. Whether you're new to prayer or you've been practicing for years, Unity in Lynnwood offers several ways that you can access prayer. The first one, in the seat pocket in front of you, there's a prayer slip. You can write that prayer down and just slip it into the offering basket later on and know that your prayer chaplains will pray for that throughout the week. You can also call our confidential prayer line or go online to our website and leave a prayer request there. Finally, near and dear to my heart, you can have a personal time of prayer after service with one of our prayer chaplains. I like to call them spiritual Sherpas because they kind of help you access that place, and they are there for you. I'd like to recognize our prayer chaplains who are here today to serve you after service. Thank you. And Kate, if you need some help, I'll be there for you. Affirmations are another way that we make spirituality practical in our lives. When we positively affirm something, we invite our higher selves to resonate with that truth and to internalize it to the deepest part of our beings. Today's affirmation is displayed on the screen, and I invite you to listen to me read it, not sing it. That will not be happening. And then afterwards, you can stand and join me in reading it together. There's a song of life, love, wisdom, and sufficiency on my soul, so I belt it out with my best shower voice for all to hear. Please join me. There's a song of life, love, wisdom, and sufficiency on my soul, so I belt it out with my best shower voice for all to hear. Let's take a minute and greet each other this morning.
Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. So who has seen the movie The Greatest Showman? So this is, I like to pretend that this is my Hugh Jackman moment. So. You stumble through your days, got your head hung low. Your skies are a shade of gray, like a zombie in a maze. You're asleep inside, but you can shake awake, 'cause you're just a dead man walking. Think of that, your only option. But you can flip the switch and brighten up your darkest day. Sun is up and the colors blinding. Take the world and redefine it. Leave behind your narrow mind. You'll never be the same. Come alive, come alive. Go and ride your light. Let it burn so bright. Reach it up to the sky. And it's open wide. You're electrified. And the world becomes a fantasy. And you're more than you could ever be. 'Cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open. And you know you can't go back again to the world that you were living in. 'Cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open. So come alive. I see it in your eyes. You believe that lie, that you need to hide your face. Afraid to step outside, so you lock the door. But don't you stay that way. No more living in those shadows. You and me, we know how that goes. 'Cause once you see it all, you'll never, never be the same. We'll be the light that's shining. Bottle up and keep on trying. You can prove there's more to you. You cannot be afraid. Come alive, come alive. Go and ride your light. Let it burn so bright. Reach it up to the sky. And it's open wide. You're electrified. And the world becomes a fantasy. And you're more than you could ever be. 'Cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open. And you know you can't go back again to the world that you were living in. 'Cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open. So come alive, come alive, wide open. So come alive, come alive, wide open. And the world becomes a fantasy. And you're more than you could ever be. 'Cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open. And you know you can't go back again to the world that you were living in. 'Cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open.
All right. Thank you so much.
The fabled Christopher Robin once said to Winnie the Pooh, "You are braver than you believe. You are stronger than you seem. You are smarter than you think." Well, friends, I am Linda Martella-Whitsett, author of Divine Audacity, with really some thoughts and some real enthusiasm for a study that we can all be a part of. You know, it's rare to find a human being who can authentically stand and say, "I am divine. I'm one with the one." It's what we teach, but often, even though we say the words, I see that we struggle with, and what we do is push away that reality. We kind of separate ourselves in our thoughts and say, "I can't be all of that. I can't be divine." And yet we're called to be. I believe the world is really looking for more Christs, don't you? For more masters in a spiritual life that helps to make a difference for everyone. Well, this is what is possible when we study Divine Audacity and learn about our incredible spiritual powers. I hope you will take advantage of this opportunity provided by your community.
Friday and Saturday all-day retreat. The $99 registration fee includes all catered meals, all materials. At the beginning of the first service, we had 10 spots available. You may sign up online, or you may visit Matthew in the back. He will help you with a paper registration. I am so happy to see you this morning. I've already been to church. I don't know about you. We have a Father's Day gift basket. It's valued at $95. It was lovingly created by your spiritual gift shop staff. For a $5 raffle ticket, you can have a remarkable collection of delightful things for that special father figure in your world. Please consider dropping by. It's a remarkable, remarkable shop. Even if you haven't been there in the last couple weeks, it's pretty stunning. Oh, every service has an ambassador. This person's role is to support you in your exploration and discovery of this evolving, unfolding divine idea we call unity in Lynnwood. So if you do have a question about what we believe, about what we teach, about what's available to you, you are welcome to engage her in conversation. Her name is Nan Allen. Practical spirituality, welcoming community. Yet again, short in word, long in message, don't you think? Practical spirituality, truly, truly welcoming community. What an idea for today's world. So every week I like to support this with one of the 6 values statements, which we developed in conversation with your Board of Trustees beginning in late 2014. Take a deep breath with me. This morning's reads as follows. We teach the unity of all life. We teach the unity of all life, transcendent of culture, of era, of religion, or lack thereof. You good with that? I'm so happy to be with you this morning. I think my earliest memory of having a theme song was in junior high. The year was 1976, and of course, Rocky was the blockbuster movie of the summer. And I'm sure I'm not alone when I tell you that even to this day, it reminds me that there's an underdog alive in me. Something of a Philadelphia southpaw whose legs are capable of sprinting up those stairs in front of the Philadelphia Museum of Art. An Italian stallion, if you will, whose heart is ample to the Apollo creeds of this earthly experience, even when all odds, even when common sense would say otherwise. Yeah, you remember it. Oh my. That particular theme song was so incredibly compelling that I spent the bulk of that summer wearing the same gray sweatpants that Rocky Balboa wore. But instead of running through the streets of urban Philly, I was running around the track at the Osawatomie High School. The music blaring from that cutting-edge technology known as a Sony cassette Walkman. I also departed from Rocky's morning routine of drinking raw eggs and his afternoon routine of pounding on frozen cows. Now, my next memorable theme song was drawn from the year 1980. It was set at the New York City High School for the Performing Arts. You might know the movie. It follows the brazen Coco, the shy Doris, the sensitive Montgomery. Yes, we still used terms like sensitive back in 1980. The sensitive Montgomery. We might have sensitive people here today. I don't know. The brash Raoul followed them from their auditions through their graduation. Students dealing with everything that is high school, rigorous academics, deep friendships, budding romances, self-doubt, self-discovery, as they strove for their respective moments in the spotlight. I could say as they strove for their respective moments of fame. Oh. Nancy Joy made me dance at 9 o'clock. I mean, it was epic. We were on our backs, spinning on the floor, and backflips across the... So there's a consistency between these first two theme songs, both calling their characters into fuller expressions of their potentials, against all odds, really. But the title track wasn't my only theme song from Fame. Irene Cara also recorded a song called Out Here on My Own. And oh, how I used to sit in my bedroom, that veritable boat of wood paneling floating in a sea of red shag. Oh, how I used to sit in that bedroom, wallowing in the high drama of the lyrics. You know, sometimes I wonder where I've been, who I am. Do I fit in? Make-believing is hard alone, out here on my own. And when I'm down and feeling blue, the song continues, I close my eyes so I can be with you, oh baby. Be strong for me, baby. Belong to me. Help me through. Help me need you. How about that? Oh, to be 15 years old again. Now, I won't reveal the target of all of that wailing because it would embarrass you and me. And of course, by '82, the Rocky theme song was replaced by Rocky IV's Eye of the Tiger, in which the world was exposed for the first time to one of our greatest thespians, Mr. T. Reminds me a little of myself there. Then Phil Collins released Against All Odds in '84, and who can forget R. Kelly's I Believe I Can Fly. It's from Space Jam. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. See me running through that open door. Oh, you're good. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly, which must be crystal clear by now. My life has been marked by a string of underdog theme songs, each of which reminds me in its own way that there is always a greater potential within me awaiting my recognition, regardless of what my peers would believe, that there is always a greater possibility within me awaiting my invitation, regardless of what my history might imply. And sure, while other theme songs emerged from time to time, some of them quite pathetic, really. I mean, I can't live if living is without you. I think we've all sung that one from time to time, Or how about this one? Don't cry out loud. Learn how to hide your feelings. Yeah, that's helpful. Yeah, church according to Melissa Manchester, right? I don't know. While other theme songs emerged from time to time, my life has been marked by this string of underdog theme songs, each of which reminds me that there is always a greater power within me awaiting my emancipation, no matter how many matches I might lose to the Mr. T's of the earthly experience. And while some might shrink from new challenges, it is the Mr. T's of this world that bring me to life. I remember being a competing young pianist when the new Russian prodigy arrived in the Midwest, the unbeatable Russian, you see. And yes, I realize this already sounds like Rocky IV, but it's not. To have an unbeatable Russian in the Midwest, I'm here to tell you it lit something of a fire in this heart, I can promise you. Please, please tell me that I can't do it. Tell me that it's impossible. Please do that gift for me. It's the same fire that's lit when race consciousness tells me that church is dead, that church in the Pacific Northwest is dead, that you can't compete with the Seahawks, you can't compete with the weather, that you can't compete with the traffic, that there's not enough money. Of course there's not enough children, not enough parking. It's the same fire that's lit when race consciousness tells me that it's impossible, no matter what it is. And I'm bringing you this candid peek into my early years. It's because your life, like mine, has been marked by a string of theme songs. Your life, like mine, has been marked by a string of theme songs, some of which would encourage you toward the highest potentials of your divinity, others of which would encourage you toward the false humilities of your humanity. And whether these songs are literal songs or not, your consciousness is ever at work, inviting you to sing along with lyrics which are ultimately about just how big your God is. While Unity has several gifts to offer its world, the gift of an inclusive, accepting, loving culture, the gift of a spiritual model which doesn't require you to check your intellect at the door, the gift of a paradigm rooted in the divinity of all expressed life, the gift of a teaching inclusive of the power of thought, the gift of affirming and encouraging your direct exploration and experience of God as you understand God to be. While Unity has several gifts to offer its world, perhaps its richest is the position that if you don't like the life you're living, stop singing the song you're singing. Proverbs 18 said a similar thing. It said, the power of life and death, it's right here. It's in your tongue. The power of life and death is in your tongue. Sing life. Sing possibility. And make no mistake, when you change your theme song, when you change your theme song, your family may or may not sing along. Your dinner table may become a discordant mess as you begin to sing a lyric of higher possibility and your family continues to hum the same old, tired melody. You start singing, we're moving on up, and your family keeps humming Mission Impossible. But what I want you to know is that that's not true here. That's not true at Unity in Lynnwood. When you change your theme song, this family will sing along. When you sing, now we're up in the big leagues, getting our turn at bat, this family's going to chime right in and close it out. As long as we live, it's you and me, baby, and there ain't nothing wrong with that, okay? So in our commitment to doing just this, in our commitment to being just that, I've invited one of our small group ministry co-chairs up to introduce a new program. What a vision she has. Would you welcome Cheryl Jones, please? And that's her co-chair, Nancy Parle, who joins us by photograph.
If you were here for this morning's first service, raise your right hand. Now, put your right hand on your forehead. Go like this, and that moment that I was up at first service is now erased. So good morning. So several, yeah, I love that. So several songs have been going through my mind on how to introduce the fellowship groups. With a little help from my friends, I can get by. Come together right now.
Nice.
Okay, I won't sing it because that'd be really bad and like you'd want what happened at first service. So the purpose of the fellowship groups is to provide a way that we can keep the Sunday's conversations going, where it's just not doing a Sunday afternoon or a Sunday morning. It's something to get us through the week and to be together and to really fellowship with each other and get to know each other. I almost started in that song again. Groups will be starting the week of the 18th. There's sign-up sheets in the back. Not all of the times or days are on the sheet. They're done by location so that the small group leader will be calling you and getting in touch with you as to what works best for you. So please sign up. It's going to be a great time. We're going to be having a good time. But before I leave, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Can the people who were in the work party over the weekend please stand up? So, did I ever tell you that you are the wind beneath my wings? Did I ever tell you that you're my hero?
Cheryl Jones. Oh. Oh. So in support of these fellowship groups, we have created a fellowship groups note card. So available from this point forward, if you would like a fellowship groups note card, they're available at the Welcome and Information Station. Simply, you may grab one to note anything that you might find provocative so that you can take it beyond this hour. If you would like one right now, our welcome teams are delighted to bring you one. All you need to do is raise your hand. Well done. That could have been very awkward right there. Unity has 5 primary tenets that are largely agreed upon by the majority of Unity people. That's really as good as it gets in Unity right there, by the way. And the 5th tenet says something akin to this. You can know all of this. You can discuss all of this. You can theorize about all of this, but until you practice it, it will be for naught. And so when I think about fellowship groups, when I think about the uprise of this small group ministry, I think of it as a 5th tenet opportunity. We take an idea and we practice. You good with that? So look, it doesn't matter at all to God what your theme song is, but it matters a great deal to you. So why not choose a theme song which reflects something of the bigger dreams which press for recognition through you? Why not choose a theme song which reflects something of the grander possibilities which press for welcome through you. You see, this is the stuff of spiritual growth. Ultimately, why not choose a theme song that reflects something of the bigger idea of that thing we call God? Why not choose a theme song which reflects something of a bigger idea of the life, of the love, of the wisdom, of the sufficiency that we consider God to be? Why not choose a theme song which reflects something of a bigger idea of what it means to be an expression of infinite potential itself? I have to believe Marianne Williamson said it as well as it could be said. Please indulge me. You've heard it before. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, to be gorgeous, talented, to be fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God, and your playing small does not serve your world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others will not feel uncomfortable in your presence. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same thing. As we are liberated from our fears, our presence automatically liberates others. End quote. So if you've been singing a song of dis-ease, then maybe it's time to tune into a news station that plays "I Feel Good," like I knew that I would now. Or if you've been singing a song of disappointment, then maybe it's time to tune into a new station that plays "Go on, now go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now because you know you're not welcome anymore." Or if you've been singing a song of confusion, then maybe it's time to tune into a new station that plays "You know, I can see clearly now because the rain is gone." Or if you've been singing a song of limitation, then maybe it's time to tune into a new station that plays "If you want to sing out, sing out. And if you want to be free, be free. Because there's a million things to be. And if you want to live high, live high. And if you want to live low, because there's a million ways to go. You know that there are. If you've been moving through your life humming some tired old tune that was handed to you by unknowing parents, singing some tired old lyric that was handed to you by an unexamined history, maybe it's time to embrace the new idea that you really are a brick house. Maybe it's time to embrace the elevated perspective that you really are a bad mama jamma, just as fine as you can be. Knowing that Unity and Lynnwood will be right here with you, ready to sing along. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, you're very fun. You're very fun. Thank you, Unity and Lynnwood. Let's take a deep breath together and let's close those outer eyes for a time of reflection, a time of meditation. It'll last only a few minutes. Let's close those outer eyes to that world of partiality, that world of seeming duality, that world of apparent limitation. That's why we close our outer eyes, not that we would turn from the truth, but that we might know a higher truth. That we might know a higher truth, and that which can be discerned with these 5 sensory vehicles. So we turn to that expansive inner realm that knows nothing of limitation. It knows nothing of duality, nothing of partiality. We turn to that expansive inner realm where we find oneness, where we find potential, where we find possibility. Let's become willing to hear that melody for a few minutes. Let's become I'm willing to sing along with that frequency. For a few minutes, let's take a deep breath together. Oh, how good it is to be. And how good it is to be together. You know, our prayers are never for us alone. The songs we sing ultimately reach forth and invite our neighbors to hum along. The songs our neighbors sing ultimately reach forth, inviting us to strike a harmony. So for higher possibility, for a moment of remembrance of the love from which we spring, the wisdom, the life, the sufficiency, for that moment of remembering together. We allow a sense of gratitude to rise. We extend it to our neighbor. Allow it to expand even further. We close this time of reflection, this time of meditation, simply by saying, may it be so. May it be so. May I be so. Then so it is. Amen.
I don't know about all y'all, but when Dr. Richard speaks, I feel like he's talking just to me. And when Matthew sings, I feel like it's just for me. And I know that this afternoon, I may be going out to Pandora and rearranging the playlist of my life. Thank you. Now is the time that we'd like to give you the opportunity to give back, to support this amazing community. I don't say that lightly, and all that we receive here. As you prepare your love offerings, here's something that Charles Fillmore had to say on giving. Give, and it shall be given unto you, is the statement of a law that operates in every thought and act of man.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
Thank you so much for your gifts. Thank you, ushers, for your service. We truly recognize and give thanks that the spirit of love and truth multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. And so it is. Okay, so all of us have had a first time visiting Unity in Lynnwood, and we love to just recognize and say hello to new people. So if you are new, would you mind raising your hand? Got any newbies out there? Yay! Welcome, welcome. I hope that we've already made you feel welcome and that you might join us in Friendship Hall after service. And if you are new or newer to Unity in Lynnwood, there are some resources available to you. First, there's a newcomer's information card in the seat pocket in the chair in front of you. Feel free to take that and read about us. There's also a welcome DVD as you exit the sanctuary on the rack near the door. You can also join our mailing list, filling out the Stay in Touch card, also in the front seat pocket. You'll get a couple emails a month just letting you know what's going on here at Unity in Lynnwood. And most importantly, please visit our welcome and information station in the back to ask questions about anything that you might have about our programs or what's coming up. And in fact, what is coming up? Interfaith at Unity in Lynnwood presents Spiritual Saturdays on Saturday, June 16th at 11 a.m. Share the healing space of the traditions of the Jewish Sabbath as understood and interpreted by Rabbi Ted Falcom and musicians Jenny and Jack Hupmaker. And join Bishop Kathy Chalmers on Saturday, June 23rd at 5:30 p.m. Bishop Kathy's liturgy, including Holy Communion, is open to all persons of any faith and no particular faith tradition, offering inclusive spirituality and food for the journey. Adult education continues with the Essential Charles Fillmore on June Tuesdays. This course examines the life, teachings, and works of this larger-than-life individual. We will use reading, discussion, and reflection writing, and practice in what Mr. Fillmore called practical Christianity, facilitated by licensed Unity teachers Jack and Angela Ekram. Please register. And mark your calendars for July's class, the fourth principle, Living the Powerful Life with Dr. Richards. Our health and wellness ministry invites you to 2 events. The first is The Body is the Temple of the Soul, and it's our lighthearted movement experience combining music and relaxation. Wear comfortable clothing and bring a mat or blanket, and the date is up there. And Qigong, an ancient Chinese healthcare system that integrates physical postures, breathing techniques, and focused attention, is geared for beginners in a 2-week series of hour-long classes facilitated by Anilla Goldie. So all of these things and other good things happening at Unity in Lynnwood can be found in your printed program or by visiting our Facebook page or the calendar page of our website at unityinlynnwood.org.
Again, I'll be in the back with registration forms. If you'd like to come to the retreat, I'll help you fill that out. If you'll join me, we'll sing our peace song. Peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, guided all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Oh, whether you're here in body or joining us by streaming, if there is a first name of any soul whom you would like to introduce into this consciousness of love and support, please speak that first name now. And so we say yes. We say yes. We stand in yesness, yesness of possibility. On behalf of all those names offered, whether with a human tongue or human heart, we say yes on behalf of all who have turned something of a spiritual ear to this very conversation, no matter what apparition might be before you. We say we're moving on up. We're moving on up. We invite you into the deeper end of the pool of consciousness in which we can discover, know, realize, recognize, and bring to the fore that life that we know God to be, that sufficiency that we know God to be, that love we know God to be, that wisdom which we know God to be. And so we close this time of communion together by lifting our voices with great faith and with great boldness as we speak these words. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God upholds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
The light of God surrounds us. The power of God protects. The presence of God watches over us, and all is well. The love of God enfolds us. Wherever we are, God is. We are safe, we are cherished, and all is well.
close our time as we always do, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is.